Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be an ending to the Mother's Day celebration that a lot of you all, many of you all celebrate today. Just wanted to do a video to kind of wrap up Mother's Day for you all. This is very casual. I have been kind of lounging out today. My daughter's here. We went to go pick her up yesterday from the airport. She is finishing up dinner for me. We're eating dinner definitely later than we usually would eat dinner, but I didn't get a chance to go to the grocery store yesterday because after picking her up we were very tired. I went to sleep, didn't get back up in time to go to the grocery store, so we had to end up going today. And so yeah, the grocery stores don't open until 10 o'clock. We had a lot of other stuff that we were doing this morning, and so yeah, the dinner is running a little late, but it should be ready in about 10-15 minutes. So in the process of all that going on, I decided to come on here and do a video real quick fast to kind of talk about some 8 lessons that I've learned from being a mother, how I have applied those 8 lessons to my life. So yeah, with all that being said, let's get on to these 8 lessons. So let me first kind of give you a quick little story of my motherhood. So I became a mother when I was 20 years old. I actually found out I was pregnant a couple of weeks after my birthday, and I had my daughter at 20, September the 4th, and so it was definitely not a planned pregnancy. I know we always say that it's not planned, but we all know what we need to do to prevent pregnancies from taking place. I think when you get into a relationship with someone and you love that person, and you know, you basically get to where you're like, okay, well, it didn't happen this time, it didn't happen that time, so it's not gonna happen, and then it ends up happening. So anyways, I've shared this experience with my daughter because I think it's important for her to know my story. When I got pregnant, I was very disappointed in myself. I was very ashamed. Back then, you know, getting pregnant out of wedlock was just still frowned upon, even in 2001, and so a lot of people just kind of look at you a lot differently, and it was very difficult for me. I didn't really socialize for the entire time I was pregnant because I just did not think that that was something that was going to happen in my life at that particular time. But even with all that going on, there was never a time that I didn't love my child or was not excited for her to come into the world. I was scared about being a mom. I was scared about how I was going to take care of her. But as far as ever feeling like I didn't want her, that was never something that ever came into my mind. When I knew I was pregnant, I immediately loved the person inside of my belly. I just knew that I was going to have to do what was necessary to make her life better and to do what I could to be the best mom that I could be. So that's what I did. When she came into the world, I just automatically took on the mother role, and I loved her. I did everything for her, cared for her, made sure that she knew how much she was loved and wanted, and we have the best relationship, a very close relationship, and I attribute that to the fact that I knew I was a mom, and I knew that I had to be the best I could for her. I got pregnant with my son at 25, and I had him at 26, and of course it was a different time then. I was growing up, I was married at that point, and so I was a lot more prepared for him than I was with my daughter. But as far as just like falling into the mother role, I fell into the mother role with him like I did with her. It was nothing really any difference. There was a difference between the bond that I think I share with my son versus the bond that I share with my daughter. If you have a son, then you would know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a difference to me, I feel like, between the bond between a mother and a son and a mother and a daughter. And so yeah, and I stopped at 2, didn't want any more. I definitely wanted to concentrate on my career and just basically kind of concentrating on me. So my husband and I stopped at 2. My husband is my daughter's child, so when we had her, we were not married, and we got married, of course, when she was 5 or 4 going on 5, and we had my son maybe a year or so later. 2 years after that, I guess. Yeah, well, 2 years after that, we had our son. So the 8 things I've learned from motherhood is, number 1, I've learned how to be selfless. I can remember being very selfish growing up. I think we all are selfish when we're younger because we don't have to look out for anybody but ourselves. But when you have a little person, when you have little people, of course, you can't be selfish anymore. You really have to give yourself to them. You have to give a part of yourself to them. You have to make sure that they are taken care of. And you definitely have to put their needs before your own. And so I had to learn how to really give. And I had to learn how to give more of myself, give more of my time, give more of whatever I could to my children. And that of course applies to life as well, to really give more, to give to those who need it, and to not really always expect something in return. A lot of times we do things for people, we think that they should do something for us. And I've really learned through just being selfless in motherhood to also be selfless when it comes to other people. We don't know people's situations, we don't know what they're going through, and we really need to get to a point in our lives where we can just give and not really expect anything in return. So being a mother has definitely helped me to be more selfless and helped me understand the importance of giving and giving wholeheartedly in whatever I do, and to whomever I decide to give whatever I'm giving to. The second thing that I've learned from being a mother is being patient. As a mother, you know, it is very important to really be patient with your children. I have learned to be especially patient with mine, and it was difficult. It was difficult to be patient because sometimes you want your kids to do things right then. You want things to go when you want it to go, how you want it to go. And I really had to learn how to just take a step back, breathe, and really allow things to take place the way they're supposed to take place. And I think that also applies to life. A lot of times we want things right then, right when we want it. We want people to do things when we want it to be done. We want God sometimes to do things when we want it to be done, instead of really just waiting till it is our time, waiting till it is the right time, the right situation, so that it can be the best for us. And I have definitely learned that from being a mom. It's just to really sit back and to really be as patient as I can be, because I have learned that when I do that, great things happen. A lot of good things come to pass just from taking the time to be patient. So being patient is very important, because when you're not patient, sometimes you end up doing or getting in the way, and that is of course going to mess up the entire situation. So motherhood has definitely allowed me to be a more patient person in every type of situation. The third thing that I've learned from motherhood is being understanding. And I think it's important that as moms, that we, and as parents, that we are understanding when it comes to our children. Understand that they also have a bad day. Understand that they also get angry and sad and frustrated. They have all these things that are also going on in their lives, and we have to understand that. A lot of times we just say, you know what, you have to do it because I say do it, or you have to be this way because I'm telling you to be that way, instead of understanding a lot of things that they are having to go through as well. And when you understand your children and understand their feelings and understand what you're going through, you're going to have a much better relationship with them. And I have taken that and also given the same understanding to people around me. Understand that people are going through a lot of things in their lives, and to understand a lot of times that when someone lashes out, it's not personal, it's maybe something that's going on and that I don't know about. And to show understanding, then you're going to of course get a better understanding of the situation. How do I need to react to the situation? How do I move forward in this situation? So it's very, very important to be understanding and to learn how to be understanding when it comes to your children and it comes to the people around you, because of course you're going to foster and build better relationships. The fourth thing that I've learned from motherhood is being a good listener, to be a better listener. I've tried my best to listen to my children, listen when they're hurt, listen to when they're upset, listen to when they have a problem, because then I'm better than able to understand how to help them. What do I need to do how can I support them? How can I make it better? How can we work together? It's very important to listen to your children. It was very important for me to listen to my kids, because I wanted them to understand that I'm not always going to have the answers, and sometimes, you know, if I listen to them and understand and gain another perception, or gain their perception on things, then I'm able to look at maybe decisions that I'm making for them, or you know, decisions that I'm making about them, and understand how they feel about those decisions, and allow them to be a part of the decisions, allow them to be a part in things that are going to affect their lives. So as I just learned to really listen to them, listen to their problems, listen to what's going on at school, so that they know that I care about what's going on in their lives. I care about their feelings. I care about what makes them sad. I care about what makes them mad, which of course is also going to build a stronger relationship. And I have taken that and I have become better listeners to my colleagues, better listening to my friends and my family. And I have a lot of people that come to me just to vent about various situations that they're going through, and they might not need anybody to give them solutions, or they might not want anybody to tell them what they need to do. They might just need somebody there to just have a listening ear so that they can get all of that out. And I have learned through being a mom to be a better listener, so that people can trust me and people will know that they can come to me for their problems, and I'm able to listen to that. And if they want me to provide any type of solutions or any type of anything to help them, I'm able to do that as well. But most of the time it's just for someone to be there, to somebody to listen, and somebody to just be a sounding board for whatever problems that the person or your children are going through. And I have learned that being a good listener is definitely something that I'm able to use in every capacity of my life, and I'm able to build a lot of different relationships just from being a better listener. The fifth thing I've learned is unconditional love. When you have children, there's just an unconditional love for your children. It doesn't matter how many mistakes they make. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter if they change. You still love them and you still are there for them. And I've taken that and I've applied that to a lot of different relationships in my life, to really unconditionally love the family members in my life, to unconditionally love some friends in my life, and to let them know that it doesn't matter that you know that you're not perfect. You can make a mistake, you can have flaws, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to be there for you. I'm still going to be your friend. I'm still going to be your sister. I'm still going to be your aunt. I'm still going to be your mom. I'm still going to be exactly who I was before you know, you made that mistake, or before you made that decision. I think it's important that your children know and understand and accept the fact that your unconditional love is always going to be there. And I've always made sure that my children know that I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. And because they know that, they are then able to know that they can make a mistake, because they know that the love that I have for them is never going to change. The sixth thing I've learned is how to let things go. With children, sometimes you do have to let things go. You have to let a problem go. You have to let a battle go. You have to let a fight go in order for them to understand that everything is not a fight. Everything is not a battle. And I really had to learn that, like, not everything has to be a, you know, oh, you're grounded, or oh, you're punished type of situation. Sometimes I can just look at it as a learning experience, talk about it or whatever, and just let it go and just move on. And I'm able to take that same type of thought processing into the workplace, into relationships I have with other people, and to really say to myself, you know what, yes, that person lashed out at me. Yes, that person said something to me they shouldn't have said. But if it's something that's not going to affect me one way or the other, then I can just really just let that go and move on with my life. And what I've learned from that, just letting things go, is that my life is definitely a lot more stress-free. I don't have a lot of weight of people and situations and problems on my shoulders. I know that I can take whatever situation and whatever problem, whatever is going on, and just let it go and let it be the way it's supposed to be. Now, don't get me wrong. If there is a situation where I do have to fight, where I do have to have choice words with someone, I know those situations. Even with my children, if I know it's something, yes, you definitely have to be punished. Yes, you have to be grounded. Yes, you have to have some type of consequence. I'm able to know that. But at the same time, if I feel like it's something that I can let go, then I let it go and I move forward. And I've learned that when I do that, I don't have so much stuff on me, and I'm able to sleep better at night, and I'm able to just live life a lot better, knowing that everything does not have to have a reaction. The seventh thing that I've learned is that there's no such thing as perfection. When I became a mom, I think I wanted to be the perfect mom. I wanted things to be a certain way. I wanted my children to be a certain way, and I realized that when they got here that everything was kind of all over the place. And I realized that there's no such thing as a perfect child. There's no such thing as a perfect mom. There's no such thing as a perfect life. And once I realized that I had room to make mistakes, I had room to really learn and to grow, it made being a mom so much more easier. And I'm able to apply that to my life as well. Not everything is going to go the way I want it to go, and that is perfectly fine. As long as I'm learning and growing and living, everything will be a-okay. So, you know, if you're that type of person that thinks that's going to be perfect, you really need to get out of that. There's no such thing as perfection, and I think it's great for us to have those flaws. I think it's great for us to make mistakes, because if you don't, then you are going to be kind of stuck. You're not going to grow, you're not going to move forward. And you know, just having those little imperfections just makes us special and make us unique. So being a mother definitely has taught me that not everything is perfect and not everything is supposed to be. And the last thing I've learned is just the power of prayer. I always knew that prayer was important, but being a mom, it just brings the prayer to a whole new level, because now you've got two people that you definitely want to be covered in the blood of Jesus at all times. My daughter is on the other continent, so I'm definitely constantly praying for her safety, constantly praying that she makes good decisions, constantly praying that as she lives her life, she understands the direction that she has to go. And for my son, with him being a black male and him growing up into this world where people are threatened by black males, I'm constantly always praying for his safety too, praying for his guidance, praying for the Lord to guide him into the right direction, and trusting that those things are going to come to pass. So prayer is just so important when you become a mom, because you just want the best for your children. You want them to be safe. You want everything to be okay. And I have just found out that when I pray, I feel better. I feel like I don't worry as much. And of course, we hope that bad things don't happen. We all hope that bad things don't happen, and we pray that bad things don't happen. And if something happens, we pray that the Lord will give us the strength to get through it, and give us the guidance to get through it, to give us the tools to get through it, people around us to get through it. But in the meantime, we just pray that everything continues to just be fine. And that's what I always find myself doing, is just really believing that, trusting that, and know that God has my back regardless. And being a mom definitely has made me see the power of praying, the power of knowing that God is taking care of me and God is taking care of my children. All right, you all, those are the 8 things that I have learned about all right, you all, so those are the 8 things that I've learned from being a mom. I love being a mom. I love my children. I am thankful every single day for them, and for just God giving me this opportunity and blessing me with these wonderful beings in my life that I have watched grown from the time they came out of my belly to now, just to see their personalities and to see and to be excited and anxious and just to see what all they're going to become. And I had a wonderful Mother's Day. I'm glad I did this very casually outside. It's a beautiful day out here today. It is not nighttime yet, of course, as you can see, but it's also almost 9 o'clock at night. But this was just a very just kind of get on here. This is kind of how I was feeling today, what I wanted to share with you all. And to all of those women out there that are mothers, to all the people that are parents out there, I wish you all the best with your children. I wish every mother out there a happy Mother's Day. I hope that you enjoyed your Mother's Day today. And yeah, this is Michele Mazelleغ. Make sure that you like and subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.